Hey everybody, just wanted to share a open source tool with everyone if you're interested in this. The goal is just to make imaging your RT targets simple and allowing you to replicate those targets easily. I know there is RAG out there. It's pretty old and hasn't been updated in a long time. It does still work, but yeah, just trying to create a simple, free tool you can use to image your targets. So this is basically the GUI. From here you can go connect to a target. So this will load a list of all targets that it can reach. You can enter your username and password to connect to that target. Once at that point, if you want to get an image of that system, all you have to do is click this Get Image button, which will become enabled once you've selected a target and whatnot. And then it'll just run. It can take a little bit, but it will create an image file, and now you have your image. And likewise, if I want to set that image to a different target, I can connect to my target, enter username, password, and then just go ahead and click the Set Image button, and it's going to set that image to that new target. So that way I can basically clone an RT target and deploy it to additional targets. And that's going to include all of the software and whatnot that's installed, so making it real easy to just replicate systems that way. It does have the ability to encrypt your image. So if I want an encrypted image, I can just specify an encryption passphrase here. It uses this to generate the keys and everything that are used in the encryption. And then you'll just need to enter that same encryption passphrase when you set the image so that it can decrypt as it applies the image. And then yeah, you select here where you actually want that image to be stored when you're getting an image. So that's kind of the heart of it. I did build in some additional tools here. So it can ping your device for you, so you can make sure you can connect to it. Echo, so this uses SSH to basically echo to your target, and I'll show you how it's doing that. This SSH allows you to do a few SSH type things. You can reboot the target from here. It can do an OPKG update or an OPKG install, and it also can return information about the device. So let's take a look at that real quick. So first off, yeah, here we're just disabling all those buttons. So when we're actually getting or setting the image, let's look at what's going on here. So we're just using the system config API to connect to our target, and then we're either getting or setting the image. And this metadata dialog is optional, so it's just going to ask you, hey, do you want to add metadata to this image? If you do, then you get a second dialog that basically has you fill out, title, description, ID, and version. So that way you can include metadata with your image, so like, hey, what version of image is this if you're running the latest, and any descriptions. And then yeah, it's basically just going to list the components out and close down the session. So yeah, not super complicated. So yes, if you hit the information tool, which is this little eye down here, so this is actually going to launch NIMAX. So it's an embedded NIMAX using ActiveX. So you can navigate your system right from here. This is all in LabVIEW, but it's, like I said, it's NIMAX through ActiveX. So you can interact with all this stuff. You can right click, create new. If I have a device here, I can, open test panels. I can do anything I could do with NIMAX. So just a way you can kind of embed that in there. OPKG installs. So I've set it up so it's got some predefined ones. So like SQLite 3, I use that quite a bit. HTOP, I use that quite a bit. Wireshark, which is actually T-Shark on these, so it'll install that, and NTP. So this allows you to do time synchronization to an NTP server. So yeah, just installing some kind of common packages here. And it's using the lib2 SSH library to actually execute those OPKG installs. Sweet. Update, very much the same thing. We're just executing that using the OPKG update, which is the same lib2 SSH functions. When the target, when you actually go here and select your target, this is when we're going to try to connect to it and pull the IP address, the product name, the serial number, and the host name, and you'll get a little dialog that displays all this information so you know which target you've selected. To list all of the software on this software table, if you just go to, if you right click on it, doesn't show it right now because it's not running, but I have added a right click menu, so you can just right click and click load software, and it's going to query all of the software and display it in this table so you can view it. You also can export this to Excel, so if you want to take the full contents of this and export it to Excel to save like a copy or something, you can. So yeah, SSH, this is just going to prompt you for an SSH command. You can enter any command and it's going to execute it on the target. Echo, same thing. It's asking you for the message you want to echo, and it's going to go send the echo request via lib2 SSH to your target. Sweet. And OPKG install. This is just going to prompt you for the name of the package you want to install, and it's going to go install it. Dev info. So this is basically going to prompt you and ask, what information you want out of this. And so, memory, CPU, uptime, all this different stuff that I've kind of pre-mapped. And then based off what you've selected, it's going to query different stuff on your RT target. So, if I want to query uptime, for example, it's using this uptime request to our target. So yeah, just some kind of predefined SSH commands for your target. Then reboot uses SSH to reboot it. And yeah, ping, we're just using .NET to do a ping. So just looks like that. That way we can just see that we can actually connect to our target. And there's a little help button, so all the stuff that I've explained, you also can just click the little help button on the screen and you get this dialog that explains all this stuff. And that's pretty much it. So if you're interested in this tool, this is all free, open source. The link to this is available in the description of the video if you want to try it out, if you want to play with it. Feel free to do whatever you want with it. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
Canon Controls is your gateway to mastering LabVIEW. Dive into programming for data acquisition, industrial communications, and manufacturing automation. Explore how to enhance your projects with cybersecurity best practices. Join the journey to elevate your skills and secure your systems with every episode.